Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to be looking at my first MAFEX figure that I've ever gotten, and that is the Terminator T-800 right there. And you can get this thing over at the CMD store. They actually have it in stock right now. There you can see MAFEX is number 176, and you can see everything that he does come with. 3 different face sculpts, a bunch of different iconic guns that we saw in the original Terminator movie. Again, Terminator there. There's the box over here. Wonderful picture of Arnie. And there he is holding a plethora of the different weapons and showing you everything. But I've never had a MAFEX. I've heard good things about them. But I want to take it out. We're going to look at them. We're going to compare them to some of the other 1/12 figures, G.I. Joe Classified, Marvel Legends. Yeah, Marvel Legends. I got a Punisher sitting right there. And just see how they scale and see if they're going to work with some of the other figures. You can see he's got a soft goods jacket. So I am excited, but you know what? You've looked at me long enough. I'm ready to get this thing open and see how well he works. Is he smooth? He's close to the price of a Mezco, so again, hopefully I'm going to get the exact same quality that I get from Mezco, which is actually pretty good for the most part. But anyway, let's take a look at this and not this. But before we do, if you like this type of stuff, you want to see when I give you something different, maybe that I've never reviewed, maybe I'll fall in love with MAFEX and I have to buy them all. That's not going to happen. But anyway, take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop something like this. Alright, so anytime I open up a brand new figure of a brand I've never had, I like to show you. So in the back, you get that iconic picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator right there. And I gotta say, I mean, the likeness looks really good. At least that's what sold me, to be 100% honest. This was $90, $80 I think on BBTS. CMD store out of Canada, a little bit more. So you're gonna pay that. So, but all this stuff here is just underneath this tray, and everything seems like it's going to come out fairly easy. So I just wanted to show you so you don't have to worry about snipping things, pulling stuff out of the plastic, and that's what I like to show you. And you can see everything's underneath here, including what I believe is the stand right underneath there. All right, so let me get this thing open, and then we'll start actually reviewing the actual figure. Alright, so here's the figure, and we're going to start with the accessories as I always do, but we're going to start with this stand here. Now, when you open it, it is in one bag with individual compartments. Cut it open, do not rip it open, because I didn't do it on top of here, and I lost a bunch of pieces, and then I had to find them. So, like many stands, I know people are going to be like, is it really that hard? There's 3 spots for the stand, for the spots, right? So we can throw this up here. And then you have this one complete one. Alright, so we can kind of throw this on here. Alright, and it does plug in here. Alright, perfectly fine. But they give you all these individual little pieces to put the stand together. And it took me a second to figure out exactly what's going on here. So, 2 different pieces. You have this one, and then you have this one which will plug directly into here. Now this here, I believe, is more to make if they're jumping or flying. And the reason why that is, here's the piece. It goes on like this, or it can also go right onto this one. And then you take these 2 pieces, and you're going to plug it on like so. So now you can cup their growing area and wrap them so you don't have to worry about them actually falling down. Pretty nice idea, other than there's really no instructions, unless if that digital QR code is what leads me to instructions. And then it also has a straight one in case you want to just get them to stand straight up. So, I don't mind a flight stand, obviously for flying, but you know my feelings on stands, just to get a figure to stand. I'm not doing it. Okay, on to the accessories here. So, he has multiple hands. And all the hands come with this little peg system so they stay together. So you know which ones go to which. Alright, so here you have some open hands. all right, where it looks like he's kind of grabbing something. They're both the same. There's not much detail to them, all right. You do have the skin color underneath his skin tone. Here we have his, I don't know what kind of hand these are. I was going to say talk to the hand, but he's not really talking to the hand because that'd be Terminator 2. Here's his trigger fingers. Now again, this guy's going to be able to fire with either weapon because he is a robot, a Terminator, I guess. And then here's his open hand, so I guess he can smack somebody. As for the weapons here, we have a shotgun. It is straight. It has very little flex to it. You can look at the detail there. A little bit of silver paint there. You got the trigger guard. There you can see the trigger. Grip has some detail. You have the pump action that has some grip to it. No port for blast effects. And then it looks pretty much the exact same on the other side. Here we have the submachine gun with out of stock, or is it collapsed? I'm trying to look there. Nope, I don't think there's a stock on there, but you see there's a port for stock. Now it doesn't come with one. It has the double magazine. It does not come out. No port for blast effects. I actually really like the way this gun looks. Alright, and I really do like the double magazine. I always like that look. It's just really cool looking. You can see the trigger. I'm sorry, the safety. You have your grip right there, then your trigger. Again, it's straight and very little give. Another Uzi to add to our collection. No removable magazine. No port for blast effects. Here we have our stock that technically should extend if you want. You got your foregrip right there, or this is not a foregrip. This is your grip with your trigger. And then your iron sight, which looks pretty good. We got the 6-shooter. Alright, big 44 Magnum, I believe. All silver. Then you have this nice brown grip. You can see the trigger. I wonder if that's going to be hard to get into his finger. But I do think that looks pretty cool. And then we have this bad boy. I think we all remember this one. Laser sight. There is no spot for a blast effect, but it almost looks like there is a spot for a laser pointer if you have one. I'd love to have a laser pointer, and I wonder if I can make one work with something, because that's really small. But you do have a little bit of black on the grip there, all silver. Not a lot of paint to it, to be 100% honest. Now, he's a Terminator. I don't think he really needs a laser pointer. As for the head sculpts, we have the regular one, and that does look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, especially in his younger days right there. Alright, nice eyes that are just kind of piercing through. Completely dead face, as he didn't really have any emotion to him. Nice eyebrows, the lips look good. The hair has some texture to it. And it really does look like that original Terminator look. And then we have the beat up face. Now this is obviously where they put a lot of detail into it. You can see his exoskeleton, or technically it wouldn't be his exoskeleton, right? His exoskeleton technically should be... Is it the exoskeleton? I don't know. You guys can tell me. But you can see the blood, because they do make blood. That's how they have to not look rubberized. You can see the eye piercing out right there. This side actually still looks decent. Same hair. You can see the ears. So everything looks really good on this. I can't complain too much at all. Now we actually take a look at this actual figure. Now this one, he comes with the glasses. No need to take them off. They give you an extra face. Although, what happened to the hair? Did I miss something? Was there a continuity error in the Terminator? Because I don't believe he ever went and got a haircut. And clearly this hair is different. This looks more like Terminator 2. Am I right? Like, this looks more like Terminator 2. the way the hair is. This is clearly when he first shows up there and has the nice hair. I don't remember him going to get a haircut. Anyway, the glasses look good. They have a nice sheen to it, so you can kind of see the glare from my phone right there. Looking at that hair. Lips look good. I mean, that is Arnold Schwarzenegger. You have... See, I thought this was a soft goods because it's a leather, so I'm wrong about that. It has this plastic overlay for the jacket. And you can see the nice zipper there. It looks like I have to pull something out here. Told you I'd do this. This is maybe prevent paint rub? What am I missing here? Because I know someone right now is screaming that that's not what you do with the MAFEX. Alright. So, pulled that out. Looking at the jacket, we got the nice zipper. You got the belt buckle that's going to wrap completely around there. See all these little zippers, the little pouches and pockets. And this really does look like you would be able to pull it out even though you can't. All this detail, I gotta say, this plastic looks really, really good. And if you can hear that, that is my little dog whining because it is starting to rain. Alright. Here he has his nice fists. I have no problem. This guy is going to have to definitely punch. Then you get down to the cargo pants, going all the way down to the boots. Here you have some stones on it. I guess their feet come off that easily. Again, I've never dealt with a MAFEX. You got your buckle right there. So the boots are not the exact same. I'm assuming they looked a lot at what he was actually wearing in the original movie. So let's look at his articulation, and his head can't really look up. He can look down. He can look side to side and back and forth. Really smooth T-pose. He twists at the shoulders. Really smooth double pinless elbows. I hope they're pinless for this price. He does have butterfly, or some sort of butterfly here. I think that's going to maybe... It might kind of mess with your not your articulation, but your aesthetics of it. Alright. So you look right there. He has the diaphragm cut that most people do like. I'd much rather have an ab crunch. So he kind of does that belly dance if need be. And even down here, he rocks. And I fully didn't even see that belt buckle right there. So you get a little bit of paint right there along with a painted belt. Alright, there you have some drop down hips. Yet his Jean-Claude Van Damme is not all that good. He can kick straight up, but that makes a huge break. And I gotta say, doesn't look all that good. But I'm also not, if I have him seated, I don't think you're really gonna notice too much there. There's your knees, which he's on this double, I don't think it's a double jointed. Or is it? I don't think it's double jointed at all. Really strange. Alright. So that's as far as he can go up. Really weird knees. They really stick out. They look good when he's like this. And they're very smooth. Alright. He actually turns at the knee. No boot cut. So you have this knee cut. Which I guess maybe it helps to articulate. The back of the knees don't look really good. I'm not a big fan of how that looks. Alright, here you have your ankle rockers. And these ankles, it's not the ankles, it's just the boots come off fairly easy. Now I can tell there is some toe articulation right there. But that looks stupid. I mean, I could see if I have to use it where he's walking to get him to stand, but that's not the greatest, and you do have to put a little bit of pressure to kind of get that first break in it, alright? So, I'm assuming if the ankles come off that easy, the hands and the head hopefully will also come off that easy. So, head pops off just like that. We're going to take this, throw this one on because that one seems more iconic. As for the hands, they pull off fairly easy. A lot like a Mezco. Alright? Although they kind of seem like they have like a longer stem. Mezco has very soft hands. These ones are not nearly as soft as Mezco. Not saying that's better or worse, just saying they don't have as soft of hands. Alright. Where's that other one? Right here. So I'm very interested in this. He does look really good. This is one that you can only do so much with. What I mean by that is, I mean, people talk about how wonderful like figures like this are, Mezco included, and I'll kind of rave about them too, but you do have an issue, in my personal opinion, that if you want to take them out, you spend a lot of money and there's certain things like his foot that just kind of comes off. Now it's meant to come off, but you're going to have to be very careful. Make sure you're walking around with him in a large box, or shall I even say a small box, so you don't lose any of the parts. We have this gun here, and it does fit in very well. And then we obviously throw in this Uzi. I'm going to make sure this guy comes through guns a-blazing. And I know we can remember some of these iconic scenes. I don't think he ever walked around with both guns blazing, but I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've seen the movie. I know he does go walking through the police station with both of them. So he does walk around shooting both of them. And then he kind of just dumps them. This guy does stand very easily. Like, I don't really need that stand. So, and it's on this, I gotta say, the figure stands really nice. Let's see if we use this toe articulation. Kind of looks like he's dancing more than anything right now. Just wondering how well. And again, this on this cardboard that isn't really. So you can stand him on the one toe. I mean, he does stand pretty damn well. Uzis always tend to want to shoot down like that. It doesn't matter if they're Joe, the Punisher. It doesn't matter that they tend to do that. Again, smooth joints that almost feel loose. Like a few of the other figures that I've recently done. This guy's not too much different. Tony the Tiger, who's sitting right over there. He was really loose. Not loose, very smooth. He's smooth. She's smooth to a point that she's kind of loose. But there's your Terminator. Now let's take a look at his height, because that's going to be the biggest thing. I mean, I need this guy going up against some other 1/18th guys. I'm not 1/18th, 1/12th guys. So we're going to stick him right there. And we're going to put him right up against the Snake Eyes. I think the Snake Eyes is actually a little bit taller than what he should be. But I believe MAFEX may actually be a little bit shorter compared to a lot of the other figures. Not that bad. Not like a Star Wars Black Series. So there he is against this San Diego Comic-Con Snake Eyes. And grab the Punisher. Now you can see the Punisher has some bent knees here, and he's actually even, and that's where the Punisher's head tilted. Grab the brand new Flint, and you can see he's a little bit taller, just a bit. And then we have Boss Fight Studios Red Sonja, where she's about the exact same height. Her hair makes her look a little bit bigger. So not bad at all. I wish these were a little bit bigger. I mean, I could notice right when I first got him, looking even in the package, he seemed a little bit shorter, but not in a horrible, horrible way. I've seen much worse, but I think for what I want him to do, I definitely want him to be a little bit taller. Now this trigger finger here, not the trigger finger, this trigger right there on that gun, that finger is not looking to be in there. So I don't know if that's why they gave him some of these other hands. These other hands, I don't know what the hell they're for. They give you different fingers and everything. But I understand the punching hand, but they don't give him just like a regular grip hand to hold like a knife. Again, that's not, I know that's not a scene in the movie, but it'd be nice to have. All right. And same thing with this here. You can't really get the finger in the trigger guard. So he's kind of going to be holding it like that. Now he's a Terminator, so I don't think it matters. He can just kind of reach in there and fire that trigger or fire that gun whenever he needs to. That's it. This is actually a really easy review to do. I like the guns. Let's see about let's grab this shotgun and let's see if he can hold it with two hands. Now, does a Terminator need to hold something with two hands? Well, he does need to, the pump action. I really wish, I guess we'll start with a different hand to hold the shotgun. I'm going to assume maybe this one. Kind of looking at that hand there. This looks more like, you don't really need a gripping hand so much. I talk about it. I like just using the classified one because it'll hold the actual gun in place and the hands will just kind of wrap around it. So no problem there. Now I gotta grab a gun that he can, let's grab a gun that he can put up to his shoulder, because I think we all want to be able to fire specific guns off their shoulders. And of course, as I'm sitting here looking, I know I'm not going to find anything. Here I have this gridiron gun. And how well can we pose this? Can you hear that little dog? He all of a sudden, I can't say all of a sudden, one day we came home, this is when my ex and I were together, and it had stormed, and all of a sudden he was now scared of storms. And we have no idea why. Here we are at age, I think 13 is what he is. So you can kind of get the figure like this. I obviously didn't spend too much. This thing has too many moving parts. And I don't have a way to grab it. So I'm kind of dragging you on. But anyway, there you go. That is your MAFEX T-800 Terminator. I do think he looks pretty good. I'm going to be looking forward to getting him some pictures, some shots, since I have a whole bunch of military that he can kind of walk through, just kind of wiping everyone out. All right, so there you go. That is my MAFEX Terminator, and then there he is with the beat-up old head. I said, other than the fact that they're a little small, but I don't think it's going to be a problem fudging it in, going up against Marvel Legends or G.I. Joe, classified stuff like that. He's definitely not going to fit up against the McFarlane, not that anything does. But I think this looks nice. I think this looks really good. First impression, the figure feels really smooth. And I can't complain too much. You know, I think for 80, 90 bucks, maybe needs a little more. Considering this video went by fairly quickly. I think it was 20 minutes of the actual review, which isn't really bad for something that has multiple weapons. But I do think at this price point, you should be having weapons that have removable magazines. Even though I'm not huge with the removable magazines, you are pricing it at a Mezco level, and I think you should be going something very similar. I don't mind the jacket, because I think it looks like a leather jacket. I didn't need soft goods. But other than that, I don't have too many issues as of now. Who knows? Maybe after a month or two of playing around with them, taking pictures with them, I'll feel completely different. But as of now, I think this thing looks pretty damn good. So anyway, I think it's time to wrap it up, because you stayed this long. It's time for me to do a couple pictures, put this video together, and then shoot it out to the universe so they can get like 150 views. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. But please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a MAFEX or something like this. Now what I'm going to do is, you're probably saying, what else could you do that's high end? Well, I'll leave a link to, I don't know, a Mezco review right down here. And down here will be a playlist to, I don't know, probably the Mezcos, because they're the closest thing to this MAFEX that I have. Take care.